So, hello. This is the continuation, this bloody luggy third part, where the game constantly did nothing but was lugging. So I had to stop to stream there and just record the video, which is going to be uploaded hopefully soon. Okay, let's carry on with this conversation.
All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, she would have told me. She'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way anybody could have killed her under the Golden Rule. I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice in my head, crying out to me. That can only mean one thing. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how, or who would want to do something like that to such a sweet, lovely girl. But what else could have happened? I guess Malleolus had something to do with it. He is without doubt the most evil man I have ever known. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is one room in his villa, upstairs, which is always locked. I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking the Golden Rule. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, it would shed light on a great many things.
Alright. I have already tried that. There's no sign of Scintilla there.
I was sure he was hiding something in there. I feel like I've looked everywhere. At least everywhere I could get to. There are still two places I've never been able to reach. First, the palace. If Navia managed to get in, then I suppose Scintilla could have too. The only other place she could be is somewhere in the cistern network. I remember hearing that Dooley had been poking around in the upper cistern before he was locked up. So you could ask him about it, I suppose.
Okay. Search the cisterns for signs of Scintilla.
All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
Okay. I need to speak with this dick.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day.
Do you know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
Listen, I don't abduct women. They come to me. And they keep coming back, if you know what I mean.
Phew.
You don't know Sturkus.
Okay, do you know the way out of here?
The election, yeah? This place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see.
Okay, what's your story?
You want to get to Malleolus, you go through me.
Why are you dressed like a gladiator?
Because I am a gladiator, that's why. You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunners.
Bastard.
I think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected. He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see. We've already lined up the votes he needs to win. Just stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem.
Okay.
Malleolus, of course. If old man Sentius can't even protect his own daughter, how can we trust him to protect us?
I think they managed
Just
to
remember, I'll be watching.
take away the girl. Okay. This bloody thing. That's the room where Malleolus having his wife. I wonder if I can speak with... Yeah, there is no any other door. Unfortunately.
I'm not supposed to be in here. Domitius, come quickly. We're being robbed. This is outrageous.
Is there anything I can see here? Nothing.
Do I need to call Domitius? Get out.
Alright, she won't talk to me. Unfortunately.
Did you just scale the wall to my villa somehow? I must remember to have words with that buffoon Domitius. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
Okay, there is nothing I can speak to you about
Through the door this
just
time?
yet.
There's a key just beside it.
Okay, I need to make sure Dooley will be freed.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little stirpers? If I cop an info from Mariana,
What is it,
I'll be
citizen?
coming for you.
Okay, what can you tell me about the magistrate?
Commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
What's your
I'm a
story?
legionary of the First Italica, but there's a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughter, I should say, and the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum fugitive tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose.
Okay, do you know the way?
I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested.
Okay, can I see the citizen's
I see why
register?
not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Alright. Aurelia Commoner claims to know a way out. Claudia, patrician, wife of Malleolus, real central notes. There is no notes. The Zeus, also a commoner. Domitius, Julius. Quitia, Fabia, Galerius, Hannibal. 44 scrap. I never met Hannibal. Kabash. Okay.
Of course.
What do you think about the
Well,
golden rule?
as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like hundred-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it.
Okay. Where I'm from, that would be considered collective punishment, which is a war crime.
A war crime? Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said, in times of war the law falls silent. Seems that way. War crimes. Ridiculous. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. But life is harsh, and I've come to accept my lot. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it. Railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
If you like,
Okay, who are you going to vote?
not that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius.
Good.
Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery, and intimidation. The man's a savage, but he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change.
Can I help?
I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon.
Just try me.
If you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings.
Okay. Thank
Alright.
you. Maybe I should speak with Santilla's sister. Or at least try again. Today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied while we all deal with the sudden and devastating disappearance of my sister. As a dutiful daughter, of course, I shall oblige. The following pages contains my innermost secrets. I know you are reading this, father. I may be young, but don't think me stupid. We are all entitled to our secrets, Cynthia. Okay. Yeah, that's even here when I'm recording this shit. Even now it's lagging. This is quite pathetic. What if I'm changing the bloody fucking settings? I mean the resolution.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
What's wrong with Horatius?
What now? All right?
Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? I trust you can see yourself out.
She's not very friendly. I would be so happy if I would know why is this happening. Honestly.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Okay. Did I ever cross this bridge? For some reason I do not remember. Okay, let's try talk to Aquitia. There she is.
Salve.
No, that's Julia. Where is Aquitia?
Be careful who you trust.
I will be. I will be very, very careful. Ah, here we go.
That's quite an impressive bow. A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed? Oh, well then. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes.
There should be more people to talk to.
Come back to me
Okay.
once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
I need to speak with the scrapper. Okay, I need to find. Did I ask the baker? Why are you baking on the floor?
Tiny.
Salve and welcome. Need something?
I talked to
All right.
you.
Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
Good. Roman recipe for bread. Ingredients: a generous pinch of yeast, a pinch of salt, 10½ cups of warm water, a pound of flour. Good. Well, we're not going to make bread. Did I ask you?
Hello there, friend. May I say, that is a glorious bow you're carrying. Do you mind if I ask where you acquired it? Are you well, stranger? Have you been out in the sun too long? You seem a little confused. Perhaps you should go and see Lucretia in a clinic.
Perhaps. Okay, what's your
How did I
story?
end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave. Fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You chose the cart.
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
So you took her with you after all.
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune. I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin. Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Okay, do you know the way
I'm afraid
out?
not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking. It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Okay. Hasn't Magister banned weapons?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet. Thank you, friend.
Okay.
Very well. Another time.
Let's see. Okay, this place. This is shopping list. A list of things Decius plans to buy once he's escaped. Alright. It's nothing here really.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
I hope so. Galerius, what happens when you die?
You're not going to die anytime soon, Dooley.
My mother told me, when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river and your spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
Well, yes, but...
Is it true that if you were good, you get to go to Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
Something like that, but...
If I die and go to Tartarus because they say I've been bad?
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley. I promise.
Thank you.
I don't know if I can use this conversation.
Now, I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, alright?
Alright, Galerius. See you then.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you
And
asked.
I'm logging again.
It worked.
I just don't know what's happening.
Here, and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them. Ah. Good one. But seriously, how did you know? You're toying with me, right? You're a bit like Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the...
Yeah.
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder.
I don't know why the game is lagging, even offline,
it would roll all the way
on
back down to the
OBS.
bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over. Eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to... The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were. Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
Okay. Thanks, Cornelius.
Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right?
Exactly.
And if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Okay.
Hello? Hello? Have we met before?
Isn't the great temple majestic?
You're going to let me out of here? Really? Oh. Please. I hate it here. It makes me very sad.
It's very sad.
Galerius already tried that.
Okay.
What about the rules? Like, if you help make him magic, Hannibal said...
Okay. What do you think about the golden rule?
You didn't...
Never mind.
Bye-bye.
I was hoping I can use this.
Hello.
Oh, shut up.
Have we met before? Bye-bye.
So I was hoping I can use the conversation against the guy trying to tell him he's gonna go to the Tartarus if he's not giving me the key. Okay. Yeah, that's where I came from. Okay. And we have nothing here. I would need that bloody key from Julius. Okay, loading. Okay, take it. What if I give the bow for this moron?
I wonder how much one of these statues is worth. Hello there, friend. May I say, that is a glorious bow you're carrying.
I know.
Are you well? Malleolus. I mean, sentient. Not going to happen. You mean, how did I end up here? Suit yourself.
Okay, I cannot do anything. Obvious the thief stole my purse and I, whoever wrote this, did not get to finish.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Yeah, but I would need a key for that. Or at least get into the bloody system.
Harvey again. And did you notice anything? Yes. What else?
Okay.
Yes,
Some people mentioned the river, yeah.
That's true. It's... Let me... And did you happen to catch her name? I see. Because I... But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Okay. So now I will have a chance to speak to her in a bath. But of course I am lugging again. And honestly, I don't know why. I just cannot understand why is that happening. Okay. What do you know, Equita, what I do not? Okay.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it?
Oh!
Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was
Charon.
C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means. I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So we are dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
What can you tell me about Karen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Okay, why didn't you recognize Karen immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kamut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not. No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you.
Okay.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have two options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
I don't think so we can escape on the same way.
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
I have noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the gods of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Okay.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules. Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again. It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque. Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Okay, what about the Greek?
No. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum. Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so Perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other three will illuminate the way.
Okay, tell me more about escaping with the help of Proserpina.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage. It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind, as far as cruelty is concerned, I'm afraid. If the stories are true, I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. If she really did help Orpheus and Sisyphus, perhaps she'll help us too. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful, if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Not yet.
I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
All right.
I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
Okay. I start with Livia first.
Time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Thank you, Equitia. You are very nice. So I speak with Livia, and read against the current. And I'm going to finish this episode. And I'm going to work on that while the game is logging in OBS, because that is just not right.
Welcome.
Welcome. Okay, we're going to have heaps of things to do.
Horatius?
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all, but it does not. Say it. Speak its name. Then it is true. I was right. I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, and still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
All right. Since I'm here...
Salve.
Okay. Well, quite a few things are here. Water under the bridge.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
You stay away from my money.
I don't need your money. I don't think so. It would be a good idea to steal that shit.
Galerius?
Well, unless
Horatius?
you want me to slip some
Looking a bit
hemlock into
troubled
your
there.
next drink.
Still no
Get
sign of
out.
Scintilla. And I haven't slept right in 3 weeks.
Okay.
From what I hear, nobody.
So,
Anyway,
next time,
weren't supposed to worry about things you can't
hopefully I'm not going to log this much. And need to find the virtuous man. I need to Galerius to run for magistrate. I need a Roman plague, Greek, Egyptian, and a mystery one, and a few other things. Divine intervention. I will need to listen to the clues, what the goddess statues are saying. So still a few things are left, but we are getting closer, for sure.
I keep thinking.
So I will carry on from here next time.
What if she's out there somewhere?
And as always, thank you very much for watching, and be good, stay safe, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Tomorrow's a new